Greetings, fellow thinkers, drinkers, smokers, and jokers. Of all the potential subjects that the world today provides, I'm going to let off some steam about Black Sabbath, who've been one of my favorite bands for, what, 42, 43 years now. A relationship I thought was over since they seemed to have gone into retirement around 2017, and one could probably say, yeah, not before time. Therefore, it came as something as a surprise several months ago to hear that there will be one. And back to the beginning, I believe they've called it. Hmm, interesting. Do they need the money? Well, apparently all the proceeds are going to charity. But anyway, um, this announcement came with a very, very, very pronounced odor of rat, and I will explain to you why I believe that to be the case. Firstly, they went into retirement without Bill Ward having participated in their last ventures. Whatever the reasons for that, it's water under the bridge now. It doesn't matter. So there was always perhaps a lingering doubt that that there was some unfinished business within the band. But well, okay, be that as it may. I think if they were going to do this, they should have done it 10 years ago while we were all still fit. Which is actually one of the main points of contention here. Why um, one has justifiable reasons for asking the question if Ward is physically capable of performing. We don't know. There's been no comments from his camp at all, but his recent health issues. Okay, it's not unreasonable to speculate there may be problems. But what seems to be patently obvious to anybody with a brain, or at least anybody with a brain who can use it without supervision, is that Osborne is no longer capable of performing. So this is being billed as a tribute, Black Sabbath, and a chance and a farewell to effectively the original lineup who are supposed to play live. There's already a couple of caveats that has one scratching one head, perhaps. Moving on, tribute to Black Sabbath. There are after the announcement of this show, which we have to remember is a 1 day, one venue, one stage event. There's a cast of thousands which rivals. There's more acts on offer here than your average traveling circus. Let's be fair. There are a lot of big name bands and a lot of individuals in some or other capacity. Has not really been explained what their role is going to be. The bands which has recently come to light, and this may be true, may not be true, is that the bands will play two songs, one original composition and one Sabbath cover. Okay, so logistical issues here for a 1 day event, but it opens up a very interesting question, does it not? This Sabbath cover, do they have free reign? Can somebody cover Neon Nights, Heaven and Hell, Headless Cross, Sabbath Stones, Disturbing the Priest? Or will they be told they have to focus on the Aussie era material? One fears the latter and hopes for the former, but I guess we'll have to wait till the day to find out how this is going to be done. Again, it's been more and more referred to as there have been recent interviews, Phil Campbell and Zach Wilde, I believe it was, and they're talking about Ozzy Osbourne's final concert. So the move away from the original advertising, fair enough. Black Sabbath, the name, carries more weight than Osbourne does individually, no doubt about that. From a marketing point of view, it makes perfect sense. The tickets sold out. Terrible, very expensive, from what I believe. But now they've been slowly backpedaling, rolling this one back. Okay. Osborne says he'll be doing bits and pieces. We've already discussed who's Ward capable of playing. I think it's fair to say that both Iommi and Butler have the resources to pull off a set to perform. But yeah, Ward, big question mark. Ozzy, well, it's not a question mark. I think it's fairly obvious that he isn't. And he has already said he will be doing bits and pieces into which words can be read. What does that mean? Again, the cynic in me, and I am, I'll admit it, would say that this was promoted as something it's not going to be. Whereas I believe in the UK they have something called the Trades Descriptions Act, which means that the product or service you sell has to in some way reflect the advertising that's used to promote it. To put it simply, it should do what it says on the tin. This is becoming less and less like a chance to say goodbye or to see the original band perform live. One can still argue that it is a tribute to the band, although it's very much looking like a tribute to one era of the band. Itself a disgrace. Why do I think that particularly? Well, there's one name conspicuous by its absence here. I mean, unfortunately, Ronnie James Dio is long dead. However, had he still lived, I think it would have been unlikely that he would have A, received an interview to participate, and B, he would have accepted interview. So invitation, or B, he would have accepted the invitation given the history between them. However, Tony Martin, who as a Black Sabbath vocalist has the second longest tenure after Osborne himself, is still very much alive and still very much able to perform. And as his past record has amply demonstrated, he is capable of singing both the Osborne songs, the Dio songs, and his own songs better than just anybody else ever did. Well, yeah, he's still around. He's not there. It would have seemed an obvious choice to me if they were going to honor the rest of the band's catalogue. It doesn't seem like they are. So why are they doing this? I don't know. Surely to God they can't need the money. You know, Mrs. Osborne is noticeably avaricious, but I mean, by God, they can't need the money by this stage. So, and okay, even if they are donating the proceeds to charity, I don't know. A chance to say goodbye. I just don't believe it is what it is being billed as. It seems unlikely. Again, we will see. I could be wrong. I hope I am wrong. I hope it is the worthy valediction, dignified valediction that the band and its legacy deserve. I fear, however, it could turn into something of a farce, and it's already looking a little disingenuous, to say the least. It's a difficult situation, perhaps. I mean, we all have to leave the party at some point, but and it's obviously going to be difficult to leave a party that's still in full swing. But perhaps the best thing one can do in this situation is say one's quiet goodbyes to one's nearest and dearest, take one's hat and leave, and maintain as much dignity as possible. Yeah, could this get embarrassing? Possibly. Could this turn out to be a non-event? Possibly. Could people complain? Well, possibly. I don't know. Like I said, I will not be going. Not just for reasons of logistics and cost, but it's just simply a point that take Black Sabbath out of this, who probably won't perform anyway. There's no one on that bill who I would pay money to see anymore. Those days are long gone. Uh, but anyway, we will see what happens. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope my cynicism is totally misplaced. But given the past record with Mrs. Osborne, who is effectively calling the shots here, one suspects the worst. Well, again, we will see. July is getting close, and I don't know. Will it be transmitted live? Possibly, I suppose. I don't know. Some pay-per-view. Will it be recorded and re-released on DV? I'd be amazed if it wasn't a money-making opportunity like that. But again, yeah, I hope I'm wrong. And as I say, hope springs eternal. However, okay, well, that's it for today. Until next time, stay well.